Karen Pierce Gonzalez's poetry collections include Coyote and the Basket of My Ribs from Kelsey Books, True North, and Sightings from a Star Wheel, both from Origami Poems Project. And her forthcoming book is Downriver with Lee Poe from Black Cat Poetry Press. Karen is an award-winning writer and artist, and her work has been featured in numerous publications and galleries. She lives in the North San Francisco Bay Area. Please welcome Karen.
Thank you, Sandy. Stuart, wow, difficult act to follow, but I assume I can ride on your coattails if I have a problem, okay? And by the way, look at our clothes. We're in the same color schemes. It could mean something. I don't know what, but it could mean something. Thank you, Rivertown Poets, for Sandy, for hosting tonight, and all the co-hosts, and everyone who's here to listen. I'm going to read a set of short poems, most of them prose poems, but I want to start with two haiboons. All except for a few in the center have been published in various places, and you'll find that information on my website. I'm going to start with this haiboon. For those who don't know, haiboon is a Japanese form of prose mixed with haiku, and these are short. In a bird cage. Strong coffee with cream, my grandmother Ruby's favorite. Boiling liquid slowly poured into her favorite cup, thick and hand-painted like her. Then she stirs in condensed milk, easy to store in very small spaces. With broad strokes, she spoon mixes the two until hot and cold meld. Bruised hands rubbing the mug's decorative buds, she whistles to her canary, "Wake up!" When it warbles back, Ruby sits on their shared plaid perch and sips while it sings. Winter blooms stay closed, morning sunlight too late, petals won't blossom. First outing. You behind the wheel, tanned arm hanging out the window. Me nestled up to you, my left against your right, thigh touching thigh, skin beneath my t-shirt and shorts flush. I blush, blame the breeze, ask you to roll up the window of your classic 53 two-tone red and black Chevy. You do. Our heated breath forms thin rivulets of steam you can't wipe away with just one hand. July heat wavers. Time skid marks the road ahead. No breaks between us. Now I'll start the prose poems. No one remembers how accordion keys in this carnival house became a stairwell, sharps or flats compressed according to the bellow pressure of your toes, your heels, sometimes slippered, sometimes thick-soled. You make a music only I can hear. My reach for you flutters hallway chimes. Strung gold purple, they swoosh a song I want to sing out through an open window where metronome chairs and small yard cocktail tables bubble and fizz. You hold on to the banister, tippy-toe your lean body towards me. I waltz to hold you in my arms. But every time my saxophone legs blow you away. Postal Boy. Postal Boy, send him anywhere, first class, registered, bulk mail. He arrives by air, by freight, by delivery van, gets there on time, no postage due, salutations and postscripts intact, because beginning, middle, end, because he can deliver through rain, sleet, snow, handwritten, typed, rubber stamped onto blank envelopes addressed to those who open him up to see what's inside. A lad stuffed into paper, folded then superglued by no return label parents who drop him head first into a corner mailbox, weekend collection only. There he waits, obedient in the dark, for the next pickup to send him away. In my open hand, this wandering violin praying mantis is being tuned, not by me, but by the late morning wind that whistles through the minute strings of her spindly, thinner than toothpick body. Her ornate round head bobs to its beat, one octave higher than any I have ever heard before. The move vibrates her torso, delicately tingling my skin. She tremors ever so slightly. In the sway of her ballet, legs pirouette across my palm. Each spin moves her closer to the cliffs of my fingertips, wanting to curl in against the crush of her disappearing. I want to hold her safe from the harms of this world she and I have both been born into. Unable to camouflage into the fleshy creases of my not yet fully formed fist, she leaps into the air, knobby knees bouncing as she springs away before I can clutch even one tiny claw. Your beloved hen, plumage peddled in a cardboard box, releases all effort. Her tracks, distinct prints of passage to and from the coop, dissolve with the coming light of the next day. Oval eggs will no longer be laid for scrambles, sunny side up souffles. You squeeze your hands and try to fix what is not broken but done. She is spent. You are spent too, with sorrow that rolls like the last penny of a quarter at the feed store off the counter and then disappears into the sawdust floor. In sight of the door to her time here closing, she blinks as you stroke her soft feathers, her last breath warm on your wrist. The next four pieces are from a collection called the Unraveling. It's the only four that haven't been published. Hopefully that will change. Where I'm from. Where I'm from, girls can't crack at the seams like plastic dolls, else they can't ride bicycles the way cowgirls do horses. Fierce, two-wheeled mares galloping away from no when fights, savage daddy fist punches. Girls bounce back or else they won't make it out the front door alive. Hearts locked, sealed, won't let anything in, not even light. Self-portrait at midnight. As Andromeda, I pushed against the dark pull of a black hole, struggled to get what I want, a warm winter holiday with my mother. Like Cassiopeia, a demigod more beautiful than she is anything else. My mother is tied by abuse to an unmovable throne, her smoldering eyes on revenge only. She cannot celebrate anything. I beg her to think of me. She remains martyred, a queen forever perched near the pole star I lassoed with a mother-daughter cord, knotted long ago in sleep to stay attached. Every December, I climb it to get as close as I can to my incensed mother. In dreams, the rope tethers us. This next poem is prompted by this quote, and it's included in the as epigraph. Jesus, he was a handsome man. A line from E. E. Cummings' Buffalo Bill. His Wild West. Trotting into the sunset with her rodeo rider was supposed to be easy, just like it looked on TV, and unlike anything her mother, an immigrant crossing shores for a man of shared ancestry, had never known. Raised in the new world, soil rich with possibility, she fell in love with this blue-eyed wrangler who could toss a cow in seconds and eagerly followed the clip-clop of his steed into a bronco romance. Like steer, he roped her. She swooned in his strong, sun-scorched arms before they became weapons. Didn't think he'd keep her tied up. And the last in that one particular suite. I am a good person, a good purse, a god purse, a purse string, strong noble, nobly hanging by my heels, head over heels, not in love. Love I am not, love me not, knotted heart chambers, hold the world's beat, beats note, noting loud and clear, waves waving, gushes of life, like blood, gushes of life, life's blood marks the spot, spotted I am. And okay, the heartbreaking geometry of an origami heart. The heartbreak is there in the trifold red and white rice paper I stuff into the cracks of my 4 chambers to stop them from splitting apart. Asymmetrical sheets, once square, now creased, slip into the seams, slide down beating walls, stick to the flesh of prayers. Layered, diagonal and vertical lines swell, rectangular corners round out just enough for me to stand odd-angled, chest high, in new dreams, gray grassland, cranes, blue-tail butterflies, and wet jumping frogs rise up from the crevices. And I'll close with these last 2 pieces, which are in Downriver with Lee Poe, that Black Cat Press is publishing this year. Dawn winds blow my bamboo raft down the Napa River. I wake to the sound of a crimson rainbow trout on its run to spawn, slapping a small boulder. When at last it rises above the rock, its tail spins in all directions. Scales drip as it swims midair. There, fins spread into rich plumage. A red-shouldered hawk soars, skims the water's surface, then dives in. In its wake, my buoyant craft bobs. And the last. I hang upside down on the branch of a maple tree whose leaves have just begun to open, and read the brailed ridges of midribs, netted veins, toothed edges, botanical road maps I cannot travel when upright. Spongy spring lichen on my fingertips turns sunlight and thin air into stories. Rootless survival on stiples, sticky treks across bark, the first thing living to grow after a landslide, a fire, a flood. Fronds imprint themselves on my palms, tentacled trails guided by seasons change color, damp yellow, dry green, chilled ochre, icy umber. Shift the needle in a compass towards true north, always, always, always just ahead. Thank you.